Hi everybody, welcome to LIVESCIFI.tv, and tonight is our debut show of Paranormal Travels. Now this show is going to be alternating with Do You Believe depending on the subject, but we're very excited to present this to you tonight. And I'm Noreen, your host, and in the studio with me everybody is Tim Wood. He's right opposite from me tonight. Hi Tim, thanks for joining me tonight. And Tim will be...
Hi. Sorry, I have my headphones on. Yeah. What's up, you guys?
And Tim will also be in the chat, so he can see the chat room. I can't. But I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Now, tonight on our debut show of Paranormal Travels, which is... I'm so excited that Tim is letting me do this show because I love haunted locations. Historic haunted locations is my very favorite subject. And tonight we're going to be doing haunted abandoned amusement parks. So, with that, our first haunted abandoned amusement park is Lake Shawnee in Princeton, West Virginia. Now, all these can be Googled on Google if you have any questions or want more information. It opened up in 1926 and it closed in 1946. It opened up again in 1985 and closed 3 years later in 1988. Now, Lake Shawnee is the site of Native American burial grounds, and it was also the massacre of Mitchell and Phoebe Clay. They were the first European settlers to come to Mercer County in 1775. They were attacked by Native American Indians, and two of their children, they had three, and two of their children, Tabitha and Bartlett, were killed during the attack. And the tribesmen took the third child, 16-year-old Ezekiel. They took him to Ohio and they burned him at the stake. In 1926, C.T. Snidow, unaware of any history on the property, he bought this property and he opened up an amusement park. The park featured a swimming pool fed in by natural springs. It had a dance hall. Occasionally they would have Wild West shows in the amusement park, carnival rides, water slides, a racetrack, concession stands, and log cabins for the visitors to stay overnight. It became a popular summertime retreat for thousands of families who lived in the coal fields. It closed in 1966 after experiencing two troubling children's deaths in the park. A mother had dropped off her young son in the morning to pick him up later on that afternoon. Well, in the afternoon, she came looking for her son, and they searched all over the park and they couldn't find him. And then they came by the swimming pool and they found his lifeless body floating in the swimming pool. The owners filled the pre-existing pool with sand to prevent any further accidents. The second death occurred when in the child's playground. Now, there was a little girl on the swings. Now, these swings that they had in this playground, it was one of those that evolved like this, and sometimes it would go at pretty high speeds. Well, one day this little girl was on the swings, and there was a truck coming, a soda truck coming to deliver soda to one of the consignment stands, and he had accidentally backed up into the swings, and needless to say, he killed her. That was in 1950s. Lake Shawnee owner Galen White, who worked in the park as a youth, he bought the vacant amusement park in 1985. But after, now he had planned, when he bought this park, he had planned to subdivide it and turn it into residential lots. Well, after he had purchased the property, this was already in his mind, and when he had purchased the property, he started exploring the amusement park. Come to find out, he was coming across native burial grounds, native Indians that were buried there, and Native American artifacts, so that just stopped his whole idea. So, needless to say,
sounds like something out of the Poltergeist movie.
Oh yeah. But and so paranormal activity has been observed at the Lake Shawnee amusement park. Disembodied voices have been heard there. Native American chanting, unexplained sounds, carnival rides moving, and sounds when there's nothing there. They're not even standing anymore. Others have visited the locations, say that the Ferris wheel, they can see a male apparition, and he is in one of the box cars, and he's at the 9 o'clock position on the Ferris wheel. The swings on the property, they have cold spots right above the deteriorated wooden seats. You can feel cold spots, and visitors from across the park can actually see the swings going back and forth. Now, Gaylord White, who worked in the park as a youth, he always felt uneasy when he was there. He had always like somebody was watching him, and he always had some feelings that somebody was touching him on the shoulders and on his arms.
Anywhere else, Nori?
No, he just said on his arms and his shoulders.
Okay, well that's not too exciting.
And just a really uneasiness at the park. That's my director, everybody. His main experience occurred while he had a tractor. It was actually his father's tractor, and after he had purchased the property, he was clearing the fields. You know how they have weeds, overgrown weeds, and in the field, he had seen this little girl. She had a little pink dress on, and she had white puffy sleeves, and he seems to think that she might have been the little girl that was killed on the swings. The one that, got killed in the 1950s. Now, he's also reported hearing chanting on the property.
What type of chant? Like Indian chants?
American Indian chanting. Whoa, whoa, you know how they do that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The battle cries and stuff too? Or
well, no, just the chanting. And you know how they do that around a campfire?
Yeah.
That's what I'm assuming they're talking about, the chanting. And in October of 2005, the park gained national attention due to the filming of ABC's Scariest Places on Earth. Now, this location has also been seen on Lab Ghost. Remember when Lab Ghost was on? Ghost Lab. And also on the Travel Channel, 10 Most Curious Places. Now, during the filming, they had hired a psychic, and she refused to go on the property. She said the energy was so powerful, she refused to step on that property. And the crew at nighttime, none of the crew would go there alone at night because they also were scared. They had these horrible feelings when they would go out onto the property. According to archaeologists, the area around Lake Shawnee was the home to 2 separate Native American settlements, and the settlements were abandoned hundreds of years before the first white settlers came to that land. They found 13 skeletons, mostly of children, and 3,000 Native Americans were buried on that property.
What? Really?
3,000. They found 3,000.
Holy smokes. Wow.
Yeah. Now, I think Gaylord has it open for like tours. I think he lets you come.
Mackerel. I was expecting. I didn't know there was 3,000.
3,000.
Wow.
Yep. Yep. That place. Can you imagine if they ever bulldoze that area and put homes on it? There's no way.
I'd be the first one to buy a home there.
Oh, yeah. There's no way.
You do a show every night out of my living room.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
Okay, now our second haunted abandoned amusement park is Vineland Station, Ontario. Prudhomme's Landing, called they named it Wet and Wild. Now, Prudhomme Resort, which started as 16-room motel in 1949, blossomed into a 1,000-seat summer theater. The that doubled as a curling rink in the winter. You know what a curling rink is?
I have no idea. I think it's before my time.
No, it's not, because they have them today.
I've never heard.
So there, it's a ice skating rink where they do games on it, and they'll have a red circle and they'll have a blue circle, and they play games on the rink.
Okay.
I know. I just found
You
that
say
out.
so.
Yeah, I know. So okay, and then during this time at the theater in the 40s. The very popular stars at that time were Eva Gabor, Eve Arden, and John Forsythe, and they would also participate in the theater week-long productions they had there. Well, in 1967, the resort had a devastating fire, so a few years later it changed hands. It then became Amusement Park with a haunted house, a campground, water park, and eventually they did call it Wet and Wild.
I like that name better.
Wet and Wild, I know. Today, Victoria Hall and the Prudhomme site is abandoned. The only remnants of the amusement park are a few meters of water slide that remain behind the hall on the hill. In its heyday, the park contained a water park with water slides, a wave pool, a lazy river, water bumper boats, bumper cars, a large mini golf park, and a tilt-a-whirl, and their famous haunted house. Now, this haunted house, what they did was they put in called chicken doors. So if anybody went through the haunted house and they were too scared to complete the haunted house, they were able to go through these chicken doors. And I think they're also embarrassed when they go out, because the public see them coming out of this chicken doors. And I'm not sure even if they maybe mark them as chicken doors so people can see them running out. So it's kind of a little embarrassment for these adults that do that. Now, the reasons for this park being closed, they believe it was bankruptcy. And a former employee who'd worked there a few years before did confirm that they had gone bankrupt. He also tells stories of numerous accidents involving both staff and visitors, resulting in lawsuits, bribes to the provincial safety inspectors, which also led to the money problems and the park's closing. Now, in March of 2009, a suspicious fire swept through the abandoned park, and there has been reported paranormal activity even before the park had closed. Apparitions of former visitors, possibly those that have died on the property from one of the accidents on the rides. There's been an apparition of a boy that they see near the former site of the tilt-a-whirl. A large amount of dark energy resulting in powerful feelings of fear, uneasiness, and of being watched. And they also have interference of electrical devices when there's no electricity on the property.
Sorry guys, I'm going to adjust the mic. Little people are saying it's too loud. Yeah, there we go. Let's help.
Okay. Yeah. The phantom smell, they smell the smell of chlorine. Phantom sounds including laughing, voices, music, and screams. Now, if you go into this park and you enter with walkie-talkies, they say that all these voices come onto the walkie-talkie, so you end up turning it off. There's been an unexplained sense of danger, almost as if there was something present that means you a harm. Other activities are light anomalies, shadow figures, touches, and shoves by unseen presence, mysterious myths, and feelings of oppression.
Are you feeling okay, Noreen?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah. Why don't you just tell people you were sick? I feel bad. Noreen's a trooper tonight. She has her vaporizer.
He made me turn off because it was like a sauna in here, and I'm trying not to cough because I've had a cough since Monday, and I'm really trying to suppress it. I may have to use my throat stuff that you're only supposed to use every 2 hours.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Okay, I'm missing. Okay. All right. So now, on to number 3. This is Lincoln Park, Dartmouth, Massachusetts. Okay. Now this park opened in 1894 by the Union Street Railway, and what they wanted to do was bring more tourism to their rail line. Now, over the years, the park slowly built up and more rides were added to the park. And their crowning glory and also their demise was the roller coaster called Comet, which they opened up in 1946.
Well, this is not to be confused with the band.
Oh, is there a band called Comet?
Yeah, there's a band called Lincoln Park.
Oh, no, this is the roller coaster.
Yeah.
For the time, the Comet was the ultimate in roller coasters, and people even went on to the roller coaster. They came on with sandbags, think that the roller coaster was going to go that much faster for them. Now, I would think the opposite, but that's what they did. Although hundreds of accidents, some resulting in fatalities.
There were hundreds of accidents?
Hundreds.
Wow. Hundreds
of accidents, and some were fatalities. Were reported in the nearly 100-year history. The Comet roller coaster ride received the most negativity.
Wow.
Yeah.
What type of accidents? Like derailments?
It didn't say. I have further information on those fatalities. So let me finish. Okay. In the mid-60s, a man was killed on the downhill slope on the roller coaster. So I guess when the roller coaster was going down, he must have fell out. In 1968, the back bar of the coaster detached, rolled backwards until derailing and throwing its passengers. Multiple people were hurt. They were thrown out. In the mid-80s, a park worker fell off the tracks to his death. In 1986, another man was killed while, listen to this. In 1986, this man, while the roller coaster is going, he gets out of his seat and he tries to go back to one of the other seats in the back. And needless to say, he got killed. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Why I was in motion?
Yeah.
What a dummy. Previous to the 1986 season, the park's owners had dumped over $75,000 into the park. But the fatal... Yes, I know. But the fatal accident, along with the test run on the Comet, they had... the brakes failed on the Comet, and the back car fell off of the tracks. So that was the end of the Comet, and that was their demise of the park.
Wow. Because
that Comet is what was bringing people in. It's now abandoned, and although a lot of buildings have been burned down, and remnants of the Comet still remain slowly crumbling away, the area is presently slated for demolition and the creation of a residential neighborhood.
Awesome.
Wait a minute.
Does this thing have anything to do with Indians? This place?
No, they did not mention any Indians on this property. Now, what has been seen on the property is faint misty apparitions, probably those that got killed on the property, phantom cries and screams, some in terror and some of laughter. Phantom carnival music has been heard, as well as reports of disembodied voices and phantom footsteps. Other activity on the property is being touched by an individual presence, light anomalies, interference with battery-operated devices, and the general feeling of unease and being watched. Everything okay?
Yeah.
They okay?
Peachy.
All right, number 4. Fort Erie, Ontario, Erie Beach Amusement Park. Now, this one here, there's not much remnants left. This one was built a long time ago. It was Erie Beach. It has a long history dating back to the War of 1812 and the nearby Fort Erie, Old Fort Erie. During the War of 1812, the U.S. forces landed both on and near the Erie Beach, and their successful attempt to take the fort over. This area later became a picnic ground, but it was also used during the battle for a battlefield, an encampment, a field hospital, and a hastily dug graveyard. The park is located in the town of Fort Erie, Ontario, near the Peace Bridge and directly across from the western end of Buffalo, New York. As the nearby Crystal Beach, the park began a picnic ground called Snake Hill Grove. The park catered not only to the Canadians, but to the much larger population that was coming from the United States side over by Buffalo and Niagara. In 1901 was also the year of the Pan American Exposition in Buffalo, and the new owners of the park began an upgrade over the next decade, and the name of the park was changed to Fort Erie Grove. Over the many years, attractions were added to the park. In 1904, a carousel. In 1905, a hotel. And a roller coaster labeled the Scenic Railway. In 1910, the park was bought by a new owner whose wish was to create a top-of-the-line amusement park. He built a new ferry dock with the site of the park and opened 4 ferries to take the people back and forth from all these different docks. A 3-story casino, a bowling alley, a restaurant, a dance hall, and a bathing house were opened for the season of 1911. By 1915, the new attraction had opened, a swimming pool area, which was advertised as the world's largest, bumper cars, a circle swing, and a roller rink. By 1917, a new carousel was erected, miniature railroad, and a ride called the Whip were added to the park. The park also included a large stadium and an airport with flights to and from Niagara Falls. By the end of World War I, another roller coaster was erected, a Ferris wheel, a ferry swings, and a kiddie area had also been constructed. By the beginning of the 1920s, the patrons started to fall off. This was due to part of the construction of the Peace Bridge. Now, Americans were able now to drive their cars over into Canada without taking a ferry. So because they were able to have their cars, they were going longer distance and bypassing this particular park and going over into Crystal Beach. By 1927, the hopes of bringing the customers back with a new concrete dock for the ferries, a slide into the water, a pony track, a mill chute ride, and a penny arcade was added. By 1928, a new roller coaster was added, the Wildcat, and a go-kart track were built. But these upgrades came too late, and the park closed as of Labor Day 1930. Most of the equipment was bought quickly by the owners of the Crystal Beach. Their attempt was to make sure that an amusement park would never open again up on this site. They didn't want the competition. The hotel remained in operation until 1935, when it burned to the ground. The casino remained open until the mid-1970s, when it was abandoned and eventually demolished. Very little remains of Erie Beach. Now, there's concrete foundations of the casino can still be found in the overgrown vegetation on the beach near the remains of the swimming pool. The footings of the carousel can also be found in the woods of the remains, and also the remains of the mill chute ride. The footing of the ferry swings can also still be seen on the beach, as well as large broken concrete pad. And I think I've got pictures of those. Perhaps the most easily found relic of the park is the shattered old 1927 ferry dock, which still juts out into Lake Erie. The concrete pad for which was once a restaurant can also be found surrounding the woods. Much paranormal activity has been witnessed and recorded on this site for years. A full-bodied apparition was witnessed on the beach. She is a woman dressed in turn-of-the-century clothing, and she walks among the broken concrete. There's broken concrete out there in the water, and she doesn't make a sound. A ghost of a small boy near the ruins of the mill chute ride. Apparently, he was a little boy that was drowned when the water ride ran over him. Many EVPs have been captured, including someone screaming from outside the casino. The apparitions of many figures thought to be teenagers have been near the mill chute ride. These are thought to be victims that were burned to death in either the hotel or the dance hall that was once on that site. Numerous light anomalies have been both photographed and seen at the site. The apparition of Americans and British soldiers have also been seen in the surrounding woods. And that concludes that one. Okay. All right, and the last one is called Joyland, which was in Wichita, Kansas. Now, the park was founded by Lester Chat Ottaway and his two sons, Herbert and Harold, to serve as the home for their 12-inch miniature gauge steam locomotive. Now, the Ottaway brothers retired from the amusement park business, and in the late 1960s, they sold the park to Stanley and Margaret Nelson. Now, Stanley died in July 13 of 2010 at the age of 87. He and Margaret were the driving force behind the park for over 30 years, and a large percentage of the current rides, including Bill Tracy designed Wacky Shack Dark Ride, was added in 1974. At one point, Joyland was the largest amusement park in Wichita, Kansas. It was in operation from June 12th, 1949 to 2004. But 55 years after its opening, it was no longer profitable. It cost them so much money to keep them all the rides safe and up to date that it was too cost prohibitive to keep the park opened. So they closed it in 2004. Joyland had over 24 working amusement rides, including one of the last wooden roller coasters to exist. Unfortunately, the Nightmare, as it was called, actually took a worker's life in 1999, and when he was gardening too close to the tracks, he got hit by a train. While that was the only recorded fatality at the park, it wasn't the only accident. In 2004, a girl fell from the Ferris wheel, and when her seat's safety bar became unattached, she fell forward and she fell out of the Ferris wheel. The little girl didn't survive the fall. The company bought off her parents to cover up the accident, and her restless spirit haunts those grounds today. And because of the large amount of money that they had to pay out, and they believe this was also due to the park's closure, her death, and all the money that had to be paid out to the family. So if you go over there, you'll see her restless spirit haunting that ground. So that concludes.
I have one place that you didn't touch on.
What?
That I would like to add to this list.
What?
Is the Cliff House, the Sutro in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yeah, for those that don't know, I don't have any pictures of it right now, but the Sutro Baths.
I was thinking about that.
See?
Well, thank you for coming.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, the Sutro Baths in San Francisco. For those that aren't familiar with San Francisco, the Sutro Baths were first built in the late 1800s, and they actually survived. It was a huge bathhouse that was right on the Pacific Ocean side of San Francisco, and it's just a little bit north of, in between Ocean Beach and the Golden Gate Bridge. And it rests right on the cliffs. That's what they call it now. Presently, the Cliff House. But in those days, there was a huge bathhouse that resided on the beach there. And
I've been there.
Yeah, they even made it into like a playground park too.
Well, what it was, I remember going there as a kid.
Really?
Yes. Oh, yes.
To the bathhouse?
Oh, what happened?
The bathhouse made it past the 1906 earthquake, but I think it was a year or two after.
It was in the 60s.
There was a fire in 1907 or 1908 that really damaged I think the most beautiful portions of the bathhouse. And then they rebuilt it, and then there was a subsequent fire that further damaged it, and now all that rests there is it's just a restaurant, pretty much. You can see the ruins of the Sutro Baths, but they say that the ghost of the Adolf Sutro haunts the ruins there, and people report seeing a lot of black mists going around the ruins, and they also see supposedly there's a lot of satanic worship. That there's the Sutro caves too, which used to fuel the salt lines of the salt baths into the place, and that's if you go down there. I've been down there a couple of times. There's a lot of like ritualistic like stuff down there, so it's kind of spooky.
And also from the top up there, if you look down, supposedly there's some kind of there's lights under the water, like there's a UFO.
Yeah, a lot of people say that there's I think they're called like SFOs.
Yeah, submersible.
Submerged flying objects.
Yeah.
A lot of people, what they do is they kind of, I guess UFO hunters is go out to the cliffs out there, and they'll look at the water, the ocean at night, and they'll see lights. But the problem, like the skeptic in me thinks that if there's an airplane or something flying high up in the air, that's actually airplanes have lights at night, and those reflect on the water. So I think a lot of the reports of SFOs are actually lights from airplanes reflecting off the water. But people do report. But it's if you ever seen ocean water at night, it's really hard to tell, especially in the Bay Area, because at night we have so much fog. So I think it's pretty easy for people to get.
Well,
you're not supposed to swallow that stuff.
I know, but I don't want to cough. Well, years ago, we lived on 47th Avenue, walking distance to Playland at the beach, which was right down from Sutro's. And of course, Playland at the beach, I think it was in either 60s or 70s, they got rid of it.
They're actually called, I stand corrected, it's called UAOs, Unidentified Amphibious Objects.
No, there's no.
There are some people, I think, refer to them as submersible
SFO.
Or, I could be wrong. I'm not a UFOologist, but I know it's something submerged FO.
Okay, well, let me tell you about, you never saw Sutro's?
I have. I've been on there many times.
No, I mean when it was alive, when it wasn't burnt, when they didn't.
That was before my time.
Oh yeah, it was.
I got you there.
No, it was before my time. That's right. I saw pictures of it. Anyway, so Playland at the beach was down here, and with that famous laughing lady, she laughed. I think it's Laughing Annie. She's historical. And she's been moved several times. But anyway, they got rid of Playland at the beach. But right up the hill was Sutro's. Mm-hmm. And now Sutro's was built in the 1800s.
That's what I said.
Yeah, the original one. Yeah. Friggin' absolutely gorgeous, right over the water.
Yeah,
this gorgeous Gothic.
Glass. A lot of it, like they have these huge glass pane windows in the pictures I've seen. And there's a real famous photo. I think.
Did you see the one from the 1800s?
Yeah, there's a real famous photo of you know, the fog and stuff, and there are clouds and a lightning strike happening behind it. It's just, it looks like something out of a Alfred Hitchcock movie. It's just a real, yeah.
I think
but I mean, it's pretty cool now. I mean, like, if anybody ever travels to San Francisco, about 10 years ago, the Cliff House food, they have a restaurant there. It used to suck. I mean, it used to suck.
Not
like,
anymore.
I wouldn't even feed my dog that food, and it was expensive, but it was horrible food. But now they redid the whole restaurant, and there's actually a lot of cool little exhibits that you can eat in there, and it has a beautiful view of the ocean.
You got
so
downstairs.
If you guys are ever in San Francisco and out with your girlfriend or wife or boyfriend, whatever, take them there. That's an awesome place, and the food there is amazing. So
it's incredible.
Yeah, plus
absolutely.
you might, if you have time, go down to the ruins at night and watch out for the tides. Kind of dangerous, though. Yeah, watch out for the tides and stuff. But as long as you're not drunk.
Well, the thing about it is,
like,
those.
I was the first time.
If you go close, that's dangerous because if that tide comes in, that can actually swoop you off of that off of that little cliff there, and you're bye-bye, and they won't find you.
Yeah, it's pretty treacherous. But
can I just tell you? Can I tell you what it was like? Can I just tell you what it was like? Sutro's. Sure. It was friggin' amazing.
Yeah, let's relive your flashback.
I was really young, but I'll never forget it. When you would walk into this place, it was all made out of wood.
Yeah.
The floors were all wood, and when you walked through this place, they had a museum.
Right.
And they had a mummy. I'll never forget that mummy. It's the first time I had ever seen a mummy, a real mummy. Mm-hmm. And then they had Tom Thumb. They had Tom Thumb. He was all dressed. Supposedly he was
Tom Thumb.
He's the little guy. He's a little, like a 2 foot, 3 foot guy, guy. And they called him Tom Thumb. And they also have another a female one too, but I don't know what they called her.
Joan Thumb?
No, I don't
Joan
remember.
Kinky?
I don't remember. But I remember Tom Thumb. And it was a museum. It was those two I remember the most.
Yeah.
And then the place was huge. And then you would walk to other area, and it was all wood. The place.
Kevin B from chat says Thumbelina.
That's it. Yes, Thumbelina. They had Thumbelina. Yes, they had Thumbelina, and they had Tom Thumb.
I thought Kevin B was joking.
No,
okay.
I'm not. No, I'm telling you the truth. Right. And then they had this one area. It was huge. It was huge, and all these rafters up at top, all these wooden rafters, and they used this as a roller skating rink. But then underneath the rollers, they could make those that wooden floor move and move back, and underneath those wooden floors, that's where the swimming pool was. It was all fed in from the ocean. It was all natural salt, just like at Fly Shackers at the zoo, which is no Fly Shackers. The pool they took down, and the place was amazing, absolutely amazing. And then I remember in the 60s, it had a big fire and was destroyed. But I believe the Cliff House was rebuilt at least 3 times, and now they've remodeled it, and it's just ugly. It's modern. Mm-hmm. It's modern. It's an ugly build. I'm really upset about it. You know, I wish they had kept it old and historic looking.
Kind of reminds me of an asylum.
What, the place now?
Yeah, like the house on Haunted Hill.
Really? With all those big windows? It's nice.
From the front. Yeah, from the front. It reminds me of like the house on Haunted Hill.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Well, the new one. I'm not talking about the old one.
It's too modern. I don't. It's too modern. But if you Google Cliff House from the 1800s, the building was amazing, and you know, I'm not surprised it didn't burn down, because in those days, you know, they weren't careful. But if that place had only survived, it was huge, Gothic castle sitting there. It was unbelievable.
Well, on another note, I want to let people know that we had a problem printing the shirts. We had some people that bought shirts in the chat.
Do you want to come over here?
Yeah.
Why don't you get it here?
You want to switch?
Yeah, you sit here. Oh, hey, thank you.
Yeah, you can spray it all you want.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, let me just spray my
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll switch. I'll do a little update.
Okay, go ahead.
For people. Hey, you guys. Okay. What's up?
Oh, you're too tall.
I know, yeah. Let me move this up a little bit here. There we go. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, too tall here. All right, let me just zoom out here. We'll just do it.
No, more. Yeah.
There you go. There we go. That's good. Hey, you guys. So, I'm just going to do a little update here. Noreen's been kind of under the weather, so everybody could wish her well in chat. That would be great. But, yeah, we had a problem with the shirts. We had the initial order, and, you know, the shirts that we originally got made, the ink ran, and I found out the hard way that it ran. So, we're getting more made. They should be made probably within a week. So just be patient, you guys. And yeah. So Noreen and I are going to be going back out to Ghost Golf, and we actually got some pretty cool EVPs. We'll play a couple right now.
Oh, you bad boy! You told me you were gonna.
Yeah, we'll play a couple just because they're pretty cool. Do you guys want to hear them in chat? And sorry for all the technical problems that we encountered there, but we are going back, and we're going to bring a different setup this time. So we're going to play two of the EVPs. I was really actually surprised at the nature of the EVPs that we got, because they were pretty, what is the word, Noreen? Disturbing. Oh
yeah.
Okay, so the first EVP we got, that I'm going to play, not that we got, was, I'm not going to say what it says, but I'll just go ahead and play it. And if you guys could just go ahead and take a listen here, that would be great. Tell me what you hear. It's pretty clear, but we'll just go ahead and play it. I'm going to post these up on the website afterwards so you guys can take a listen. So if you guys have headphones, you might want to put them on so you can hear them here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and play it.
You saw somebody walk? There's something more past by this room here. Should I point the camera back here? Just try it. Just try it.
Did you guys hear that? I might play it again. You guys hear it okay? Okay, so this was actually captured when Noreen and I were in the front of the building right by the casket doing the EVPs in the very front. And I was talking about seeing a shadow pass by the exit sign. And when I was sitting down there, I twice I had seen out of my peripheral vision something that was blocking the exit sign. So I'll go ahead and play it here. But I'll play it one more time. Hopefully you guys can hear this. If not, then I'll just go ahead and plug it in here. Where's the I don't know, we'll see. Let's see. Hey you guys, what's up? We're back. I hit the power button unexpectedly, but yeah, welcome back. We're here. So sorry about the little technical issue there. Okay guys, so yeah, like I was saying, we caught like a bunch of EVPs, and we had a bunch of technical difficulties on Tuesday, which was like really strange because we haven't had all that happened in a while. So we caught some really strange EVPs. I'm gonna go ahead and play a couple for you right now, and they're actually quite disturbing, which surprised me. So I'll go ahead and play them right now. Hopefully you guys will be able to hear them. Yep. Back up. Yeah, we're back up. Okay. So, alright, I'm going to play them right now. I have a speaker this time, so you guys should be able to hear them right now. I'm going to go and play this. Tell me what you guys hear.
Saw somebody walk.
That's Noreen. Me. Go to play it again for you. So we're gonna play this. I'm gonna put these on the EVP, or actually on the forums for you guys to take a listen to. But what I believe it says is, and what Noreen heard was, you're gonna die. And yeah, it's pretty strange. I'm gonna play that part, just the "you're gonna die" part here. You'll hear it come right up. And I can't make out what it's saying after that, but it's like a 5-second long EVP after it says "you're gonna die." So that was pretty cool. So that was pretty cool. The next EVP I'm gonna play is one that I'm not gonna say what I think I hear, but we'll just go ahead and play it. It's pretty disturbing as well, and I think one of the reasons why why there might be some malevolent stuff going on there is because it is a place that's built upon the preface of death. You know, it's a haunted. There's a lot of things in there that make it look like a graveyard. So we'll go ahead and play this for you guys. That's me. I'll play it again here, just where the EVP is. Not sure if you guys can hear that, but okay, can you guys hear it in chat? That one, actually, I think it says "kill them." Noreen heard it right away. I didn't have to. These are all I just cut them out, so they're pretty much just the way they are. I'll go ahead and play it again for you guys. So, yeah, pretty strange. The next one I'm gonna play is the last one here. I have some other ones here, but I'll just play this last one here for you guys to get a sense of how clear some of these EVPs are. This was recorded during the same session. You can hear what sounds to be like someone's name. So I'm going to go ahead and play it.
Can you pick up a name?
You see, it was kind of interesting because right before Noreen asked, can you pick up a name? There is a name that comes through. I'll go and play it one more time. Play it again. I'm not sure if you guys hear that, but it sounds to me like it's saying Janet, which is kind of strange. See what you guys see here in chat. Yeah, Janet. Yeah. Janet. Yeah, there's a T at the end. It's probably a little bit hard to hear it through the stream here, but I'm gonna play it one more time for you guys.
There's something more past this than why this ring thing. Really bad.
Oh, you're gonna die. Okay, you guys don't want to hear that one again. But we'll play this one more time here. So the place is, I believe, to be haunted. That's why I want to go back there. I think there is definitely something going on there, and I just lost this file I had. Spectacular. I don't know where I put it. Where did it go? I just dropped it somewhere. Oh well, I'll find it later. But I guess we won't be able to play it. I just dropped it somewhere on my Mac. I don't know where. Where did it go? Okay. Yeah. Anyways, you guys can go back and listen to that. But to me, it definitely sounded like Janet.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. So pretty creepy EVPs. I got about 8 really clear EVPs, but we'll play 3 right now. But I'll go ahead and post the rest of them up on the forums for you guys to take a listen to. So Noreen and I are going back there on Tuesday, and I'm probably going to spend the night next to the hearse. I'm serious. And we're going to bring out the Connect and stuff. For all intents and purposes, last week it was just, or this week, last Thursday, was just a preliminary investigation. Yeah. It was really to see if we would get any stuff going on there, which we did. I was quite surprised. So, will there be golf? Who knows? Maybe we'll get a hole-in-one with all the activity there, yeah. Or it could be a bogey. You never know. But yeah, we're gonna see what we get. And Noreen is doing a show next Thursday on Anton LaVey and the Church of Satan. So it should be a very yeah.
Do you believe?
Yeah, it's not Paranormal Travels. I don't think I'd recommend anybody to travel to the Church of Satan unless that's your thing. So yeah, we're just gonna be doing that show, and then we're gonna be announcing the asylum dates soon, very soon. So we got a very busy calendar, and then the week after that, Noreen is gonna be doing a show on haunted asylums. So
that's Paranormal Travels.
Yeah, it's Paranormal Travels, and yeah, should be very very interesting. So we're gonna turn off the stream right now. Noreen and I are gonna get ready for the ITC, the live ITC, and if you guys get a chance, please subscribe and like the video. And if you're up for any paranormal travels, check out a haunted amusement park near you. Bye bye. We'll be back.